Yes, we are still tracking some winter weather here across Metro Detroit. A winter weather advisory has been issued. It goes into effect at midnight tonight and continues all the way through 10 a.m. on Tuesday. We do have some weather to talk about yet again. I'm meteorologist Marissa Wallace in. Get your questions going, what you have about the weather, what you can expect for Martin Luther King Jr. Day, maybe even after that as well. We are looking at not only what's going to happen in the next 24 to 36 hours, but even more impacts as we continue through the rest of the week and into next weekend as well. The chill will be sticking around. We also have more chances for some snow on the way. But let's break down what's going on right now. Again, get your questions in. I'm here to answer them. All right, let's take a look at what we've got going on. First, again, winter weather advisory. Midnight tonight through 10 a.m. on Tuesday. Snow 1 to 3 inches. I'll have a close look at that in just a second. Wind gusts also 35 to 45 miles per hour. Winds will be strongest midday on Monday through the afternoon. And then also wind chills 5 to 15 degrees below zero, and those will be happening Monday night into Tuesday morning. So this is all kind of a series of events going on, and so the National Weather Service actually just decided to issue a winter weather advisory instead of a wind advisory, a cold weather advisory, a winter weather advisory in addition to all of that. So it's encompassing everything that we have going on. As we take a look big picture though, what's going on right now? Well, we do have a couple snow showers out there. We've had flurries throughout the day today, really little to no accumulation from the flurries today, but the snow will be picking up. You can see this band just off to the west now, west of Howell, that is kind of developing here. So we'll see that continue to move on through. We'll also see more snow showers develop as we continue into tonight. I'll zoom out. What we do have going on, it's a very, it's a clipper system. So it's a fast moving system. It does not have much structure to it, and that's why you can tell here showers are quite broken up when we're talking about the snow showers here. So we don't have a big line, we don't have a big swath of snow moving through if we had a more developed system, but we are going to see on and off snow showers with this system as it moves on through. And those on and off snow showers, when you put it all together, we're going to get to some accumulation as we continue throughout the next about 36 hours. All right, taking a look at Futurecast, which I think is doing a pretty good job on this system. You can of course see all the snow now off to the west, but it's moving in our direction. We'll see the snow showers pick up as we get closer to 9, 10 o'clock tonight. So hopefully you're in for the night. Then we'll look at snow showers on and off overnight tonight. If you notice so, there's plenty of breaks within the snow showers. However, there will be more snow as we continue through your Monday. Hopefully you have the day off, but if you're going to any Martin Luther King Jr. events, be prepared for not only snow, but also slippery driving conditions to get there and bitterly cold conditions if the events are outside. So please do what you can to stay warm. We'll have the snow showers cycling on through not only through the morning, but also even into the afternoon. You can see more snow showers rolling through also through about 4 o'clock, and then we even continue it through the evening tomorrow. So there's a lot of breaks within these snow showers. The problem is we're going to look at snow showers that have the potential to bring a quick bit of snow that can create some slippery conditions, but also when you couple it with the wind, that could lead to some whiteout conditions as well. There's a potential that we may have some snow squalls, which are narrow bands of intense snowfall, and then when you factor in the winds, you can have whiteout conditions, and honestly conditions drop from better conditions to terrible conditions within seconds. That's what we're looking at with some snow squalls. So there's a potential for that tomorrow. Don't be surprised if you do get a snow squall warning. The biggest concern with the snow squall warning is if you're driving. So that is the biggest concern because that's whiteout conditions again, so you don't know, can't see anything at all, and you could get some very quick accumulations. You're fine if you're in your house. That's not the biggest concern with that. But yes, if you're driving, so if you're going to go to an appointment or something and you get that warning, you know, maybe call and say, hey, can I just wait this out a half hour and come in, or can we move things, something like that. You might have to adjust some plans tomorrow with these snow showers that'll be rolling on through. Overall though, snowfall with this system is going to be anywhere from about 1 up to 3 inches of snow. So kind of breaking down this map, we're looking at a widespread 1 to 2 inches of snow. There's a chance that we'll see less through Monroe and Lenawee counties just because of the moisture as it moves on through and the winds change. So looking at likely up to 1 inch in those spots. Now we also have this ridge that stretches from Lapeer down towards Ann Arbor. If you ever have driven out in that direction, you notice it gets a bit hillier. Well, that's the ridge we're talking about. It's actually a moraine from glaciers, of course, way back when. But that's the spots that we're looking at 2 to 3 inches inches of snow. So this includes Howell, Brighton, even parts of Commerce, Milford, Novi, even back, of course, towards Ann Arbor, Saline, even a lot of places in this, Pinckney, and then up towards Lapeer, even including Pontiac. Okay, I can name a bunch of cities, but this is what we're looking at, where those totals will be closer to 2 to 3 inches. Am I worried about this snow forecast busting? No. If anything, our totals will be closer to the 1 to 2 across the area. I don't expect a slowdown like we had. We had a front that just slowed down and parked itself over us on Wednesday. That's what caused, again, that forecast to bust. Instead of seeing 1 inch, we saw 4 to 6 inches of snow. This system is actually moving, so the snow showers are going to continue to move with it. So we are going to look at a widespread 1 to 2. Just plan on that, though there will be a couple pockets a little bit higher and then also potentially a little bit less on the southern part of the region. So not only, again, are we looking at snow is going to be our biggest concern tonight and then throughout about the early evening tomorrow. Then our focus starts to change in terms of what we're looking at biggest concern wise, which will be wind chills. So first, let's take a look at wind gusts because wind gusts tomorrow will be the strongest. Our strongest winds will be around the lunch hour with gusts 35 to even up to 45 miles per hour. That's why we're concerned about snow squalls or, again, potentially some whiteout conditions because of some blowing snow. Winds will let up a bit, but they still stay quite breezy as we continue into Monday night and Tuesday. And that is going to factor in on how it feels across the area. So let's take a look at wind chills. Again, a wind chill is actually how it feels out there. It's not the actual air temperature, but when you have cold conditions and on any exposed skin, hopefully you can see my hand here, when you have cold air going over this, your skin starts to cool and then eventually becomes cold, right? And the longer that your skin is exposed, you're going to look at the risk of your internal body temperature getting colder as well. So two things can happen when we are looking at wind chills like this. First, frostbite can happen. It takes time though too. When you get to wind chills about 20 below, you could get frostbite and exposure in less than about 30 minutes. But then you could look at hypothermia issues if you stay out longer and longer. Of course, your skin's cold and then your internal body temperature gets cold as well. So that's why we're looking at this. So wind chills factor in what it is actually outside, and then when you factor in the winds, how it feels because you have that moving air over your skin with the winds. All right. Monday morning, 7 a.m., you're going to feel like 1 to 5 degrees as you step out the door. But temperatures actually get colder throughout the day on Monday. We're going to start off warmer at a high of 18 degrees, and then by the afternoon and evening, we're down to about 13 degrees. So temperatures drop throughout the day on Monday. That's why your wind chills, you can see here, are about 5 to even up to 15 degrees below zero as we move into Monday afternoon. Cold conditions. Please limit your time outside if you can. All right, we continue into Monday night, moving into Tuesday morning. It is still going to be cold and bitterly cold. Wind chills will be roughly 5 to 15 degrees below zero. Now, when you start talking numbers like this, there are potentials that schools will close, but there's a lot of factors that go into this. School districts could close schools based on how many students take the bus, or are there no buses and all kids walk to school, or are pretty much a lot of kids, do they drive to school? Something like that. So school districts take those into account, and they do have a range. And I was talking to a lot of teacher friends that I have that are in different school districts, and they're not too sure if it's when it's 15 degrees below zero feels like, or 20 degrees below zero feels like when schools will be closed. So you can see with this forecast here, it doesn't necessarily support for all schools to be closed, but there is the potential because we are looking at wind chill values Tuesday morning, potentially around about 5 to up to 15 degrees below zero. So I would just have a plan in place. I'm a parent myself, a plan in place for Tuesday if school is closed, but it might not be, just kind of, again, based on temperatures too. So like right now, this wouldn't necessarily support some school closures in parts of Wayne County, especially, even Washtenaw, Oakland, and Macomb counties with it a little bit warmer. The one thing that also can happen is our winds could weaken a little bit sooner. Again, strongest winds are still expected to be Monday. If they weaken a little bit sooner, then that will lead to wind chills not as cold. It is going to be cold. I mean, our air temperatures will be in the low to mid single digits on Tuesday, but if the winds really aren't there, the feels like or the wind chills are not going to be that cold. So still keep an eye on Tuesday and where we're looking at any potential closures. Of course, when we're talking about conditions like this, check on your neighbors. Make sure that anyone that you know is also able to stay warm because we're looking at such cold conditions. Maybe some people too aren't able to get out because they just can't, layer up and be able to get to a store that they need to get whatever they need to get. So just check on your neighbors, your friends, and just make sure that they're okay in these situations. All right, here's a different look at kind of our temperatures as well as our wind chills as we move into tomorrow. I want to focus on tomorrow first, which is Monday. We're looking at temperatures starting off in the upper teens and then dropping into the low teens throughout the day. So Monday itself is going to be cold. Temperatures are 15 to 20 degrees below average. So bitterly cold conditions. When you factor in the winds, though, again, it's going to feel like roughly 5 degrees above zero to roughly 5 degrees below zero by the end of the day. I know a lot of you might want to be going out and sledding with your kids. I have thought about this. I have almost mentioned it to my kids, but unfortunately with conditions like this, it's actually quite unsafe to be outside. If you want to go and you have to go, layer up as much as you can. Of course, gloves, scarves, goggles even, just protect the skin and that'll keep you warmer, but it is going to be cold out there. All right, we jump ahead to Tuesday because this is again where our temperatures bottom out. Lows are going to be in the single digits and then highs will be into the mid-teens. When you factor in the winds, it's going to feel anywhere from 5 to 15 degrees below zero Tuesday morning and then only feel about 0 degrees as we get towards the afternoon. So overall, cold conditions are expected as we move into the next 2 days. So breaking it down again, first concern is 1 to 3 inches of snow. Most of us will be 1 to 2 inches. It's just enough to create some slippery conditions. It's going to be just enough that you're going to have to shovel as well, even though it is going to be windy. But like I mentioned before, cover up as much skin as you can while you're shoveling. There is a concern that we may have narrow bands of heavy snow or snow squalls tomorrow too that could lead to whiteout conditions. So if you do get that warning on your phone, treat it like a warning. Do not drive in those conditions. All you have to do, because those warnings, those snow squall warnings, they're short-lived. The time on them usually are only 30 minutes or less. So you only have to wait a little bit, and trust me, conditions will be much better to be out and about, much safer to be out and about as well. So that's what you're looking at. So snow mainly tonight, tomorrow, and then tomorrow night into Tuesday morning, it's the cold, the dangerously cold wind chills across the area. So that's what we're looking at. But I want to take a look also what's going to go on throughout the rest of the week, because you think, okay, we're going to get through this, right? It's going to be better. Well, it's not necessarily going to be better. It's also not necessarily going to be warmer either. So this is the storm Sunday night and Monday. So looking at snow showers again across the area. Tuesday we'll have a chance for a few snow showers, but they'll be lake effect snow showers. So most of them are going to be on the west side of the state, though we'll see if we can get a couple bands working their way all the way through. Wednesday, as you can see here, this is another storm that is likely going to bring us another 1 to 3 inches of snow. Just enough to create slippery conditions, reduce visibility, and you're probably going to have to shovel too. With that system though, we're going to warm up a bit. We're looking at a high of about 31 degrees. I don't know why I'm doing air quotes, honestly. I mean, we're just going to be warm compared to what we are looking at every other day this week on Wednesday. That's going to be our warmest day where we try to make it to the freezing mark, which honestly is not that great because it's cold, of course, right? Behind Wednesday's system, our temperatures drop even more. We'll keep a slight chance for snow showers on Thursday. Friday, I think the snow showers will likely stay out of our region here, looking at lake effect mainly off to our west and then off to our northeast from Lake Huron on Friday. But it does get bitterly cold, and we're actually going to look at colder air temperatures by the time we get to Saturday morning. Hold your breath. All right. Take a look at the 7-day forecast here. Again, we are not really traveling in a warmer direction overall. Our warmest day will be Wednesday at 31 degrees. As we move into Thursday, we're down to 20. Friday, 15 for the high. Saturday, 9 for the high. We are looking at colder air temperatures this upcoming weekend. So these aren't even factoring in the winds, which shouldn't be that strong just because high pressure is in control. When you have high pressure kind of centered close to you, usually means some lighter winds. but it is going to be cold overall. You can see forecasted morning temperatures Saturday and Sunday will likely be below 0. So cold conditions will be sticking around as we even move all the way into next weekend. This is the coldest time of the year, but our average high is about 32, our average low is 18. So as you can tell, all of these numbers are well below average, except for Wednesday with that 31-degree temperature there. Snow chances tomorrow again, and then we've got that Wednesday into Thursday system. Otherwise, we should be pretty good. Both of the next two systems, roughly 1 to 3 inches of some snow. That's again tonight and into tomorrow, and then Wednesday also 1 to 3 inches as of right now, what we're looking at with that system. So a lot going on in the weather, and just I think the biggest things are do what you can to stay warm, check on your neighbors, and then just be prepared, unfortunately, for slippery conditions over the next couple of days. Also, the thing to note here too is that with temperatures this cold, salt is ineffective. Salt really becomes ineffective, especially below 15 degrees. So we are going to get some snow tomorrow. We're going to go from 18 down to 13, eventually all the way down to 6 degrees tomorrow night. So we're looking at a few inches of snow. There will likely be snow plows out there, but they really won't be able to use their salt, at least effectively use their salt to melt the snow. That's probably not going to happen. So please be prepared for more ice on the roadways, not even just the side streets, but even some main roads. They may struggle to break apart some of that ice out there. Also, we're going to be keeping the clouds. We'll try to get to a little bit of sun late in the day on Tuesday, but overall a lot of clouds will be in place too, so the sun isn't going to help warm things up and melt the snow and ice. So that's just the other problem that we're looking at over the next couple of days or the next week as well, with the ineffectiveness of salt too. So please be careful. The other thing I didn't note too, with the winds tomorrow, there's a potential that we may have some power outages too. Gusts will be again 35 to 45 miles per hour. So you could have a downed tree, a downed power line because of the winds too. And of course, no power, no heat in a lot of situations. So check again on your neighbors, especially if you lose power too. They probably did as well. And so just make sure that everyone has some place that they maybe could go to stay warm as well. I did see some funny video. I don't know if anyone saw this too. But the one funny thing the lady said, she goes, she was a great thing about living in Michigan is that, you know, I can go grocery shopping and then I can leave all of my groceries in the car and I can go to the mall, I can go out to eat, I can go do this or whatever, and then come back 3 or 4 hours later and I know that my groceries are still fine because they just spent the entire time in a car that was even colder, you know, than your refrigerator. So that's the one positive thing you can look at. If you ever lose power this time of year, and if it's for an extended period of time, you can put your stuff outside. Of course, it is cold enough outside, and that will stay not only cold like a refrigerator, but of course, we're looking at temperatures that are colder than freezers in some situations. So yeah, some stuff may get frozen though. That's the one thing that you have to worry about with that. But we are looking at cold conditions out there. But yeah, we've got a lot going on in the weather department over the next week or so. But yeah, it's been a winter for sure. I'm just going to leave it at that. Didn't say good winter, didn't say bad winter, but it has been a winter for sure here in Michigan. We've had all sorts of weather, of course, already. We're just going to kind of get a bit more into the coldness and wind chills being a concern over the next couple of days. I want to backtrack and take a look at what we've got going on right now. If you're just joining, get your questions in. If you have any questions about the weather and what you can expect, not only for the next 24 to 36 hours, where we do have a winter weather advisory that starts at midnight tonight, so starts in 4 hours and goes until 10 o'clock Tuesday morning. This is for all of the counties, and it talks about winds being a concern, wind gusts, snow, accumulating snow, wind chills as well also being a concern as we continue into tonight and then moving all the way through Tuesday morning. First, I want to take a look at some of the snow showers out there. Snow showers right now actually arriving along US 23. Looking at even some lighter snow showers through northern Oakland County. We'll continue to see these snow showers move from west to east as we continue throughout the rest of this evening. I want to zoom out. Again, this is part of a weak system that's moving through. It's actually a quick clipper system, and you can tell it's weak because take a look at the disorganization of the showers. We got some snow here, we've got some snow here, we've got some snow here, we've got some over here, we've got some over here. So again, we're not looking at a wide swath of snow moving through that could potentially stall. No, we've just have moisture, some convergence in different spots that's looking at some snow showers here or there. So that's what we're looking at for current conditions, but we will continue to see, again, this snow roll on through. I expect snow showers to pick up here in southeast Michigan, mainly after about 9 o'clock. So about the next hour, we'll see it. Of course, we've got that area moving through Livingston County right now. We'll see more snow showers, but the snow showers are going to be on and off, not only tonight, but also throughout your day on Monday. Expect scattered snow showers, though at times these snow showers, although scattered, could be quite intense. Looking at whiteout conditions possible if we do get some snow squalls developing. That's an intense band of some snow. They're short-lived, but they can create some whiteout conditions. So please be prepared for that as we move throughout your day tomorrow. The chance for that is actually all day. You have a chance for them in the morning. We also have a chance for them in the afternoon, and then in the evening, early evening tomorrow, before our weather does calm down a bit as we head into Monday night. Though we will keep a chance for some snow showers, mainly lake effect snow showers, Monday night and more so into Tuesday. With this system, to break it down here, we're looking at widespread 1 to 2 inches of snow. There's a good chance that we'll actually get some lighter amounts in locations through Monroe County and Lenawee counties here, just not seeing as much of a push of moisture with some lake enhancement. So you're far enough to the south with that. We do have this ridge. So if you ever, I'm going to take you all the way back to grade school when we talked about glaciers, right, across the state of Michigan. Well, we have a ridge here. This is a moraine, which is rock that was deposited by glaciers, or when they expanded out, they deposited there and then they retreated, and then same thing. So that's actually what's creating those hilly conditions over from Lapeer all the way down towards Ann Arbor. If you've ever driven out in that direction, you notice it does get a lot hillier than if you're working your way towards the city of Detroit, where it is very flat, and then also up towards Port Huron, it is very flat. So this is what we're talking about here. In those locations, we're likely to have more spots pick up 2 to even 3 inches of some snow with the system. All right. Snowfall, again, it doesn't look like a lot, but it doesn't take much to create some slippery conditions. I just mentioned this as well. Salt is not going to be effective with our current temperatures. So be prepared for 1 to 2 inches of snow to be on roadways, not only your neighborhood roadway, which you're waiting for that person to shovel, but even main roadways. This is going to be snow plows needed to clear it, not necessarily pre-treatment with salt or de-icer, just because temperatures are so cold. So that is going to play a big factor in slippery driving conditions, pretty much starting tonight and going all the way through Tuesday at least. Also looking at blowing snow, leading to reduced visibility. That'll be a concern tomorrow. We're looking at wind gusts to be their strongest around midday. Gusts will be 35 to 45 miles per hour, and then our winds are going to be weakening, but not by much. We'll still have gusts 25 to 30 miles per hour moving into Monday night. So it is going to make it feel colder across the area. When you wake up tomorrow morning, temperatures are going to be in the upper teens. Wind chills, though, like you see here, they'll be in the single digits, close to 0 tomorrow morning. But unlike most days, everything is going to go down. On Monday afternoon, we're going to be in the low teens for our temperatures. Wind chills, as you can see here, are going to be about 5 to 15 degrees below 0. So Monday, it gets colder throughout the day with the snow showers on and off. So please do what you can to stay warm, stay inside as long as you can as well for your Monday. All right, taking a look as we move into Monday night and then into Tuesday morning, our coldest temperatures in this initial stretch will be Tuesday morning. Tuesday morning, right around sunrise, we have our coldest temperatures. Most of us are going to be in the low to mid single digits. I am going about 6 degrees in the city of Detroit. Around this time, our winds are going to be around about 10 miles per hour, a couple of gusts near 20 miles per hour. So our wind chill values, or what it feels like, will be about 5 to 15 degrees below 0. So that could trigger some school districts to cancel school on Tuesday for cold weather. That's what it is. Some school districts do this at about 15 degrees below zero for the feels like or the wind chills. Some school districts do this for about 20 degrees below zero. This is usually a district by district decision. Of course, that's kind of how snow days are too, but some communities, you know, come together and kind of, if everyone's closing, and especially smaller school districts that are close by, they'll all kind of close. This one's a little bit more case by case in terms of, you know, does the school have buses? Does the school not have buses? Does everyone walk? Do all parents drop off? All of those go into factors too. For example, usually like my daughter's school, they could close stuff because of the buses, but my children's daycare, they might not close because we're parents and we're bringing them to the daycare, and there's only that short walk inside, and then once they're inside for the whole day and they're able to stay warm. So that might be the case too. We'll maybe see more districts close but less daycares close because of the weather. I'm of course not making any of these calls. It is up to daycares and schools, not me. But that's what we're looking at. Just have a plan for your Tuesday. Know that you could have an extra day this weekend. Of course, a lot of places are closed tomorrow for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So be prepared for potentially an extended weekend. Also, if you're going to any Martin Luther King Jr. events, hopefully they're inside. If they're outside, layer up as much as you can. I mean, it is going to feel cold the moment you step out of your car tomorrow. So please do what you can to stay warm. Now we're looking at cold conditions. Again, coldest conditions will be Tuesday morning. We'll try to recover a bit, but even by the lunch hour on Tuesday, wind chills are still 5 to even up to 15 degrees below zero. By the end of the day, our air temperatures are going to be back into the teens, so our wind chills will be closer to about 0 to 5 degrees below zero, a little warmer, and we're heading in a warmer direction because we do have another storm on Wednesday that is actually going to bring us some warmer air. We're going to try to make it to the freezing mark on Wednesday. I'll show you again the 7-day forecast. Wednesday will be our warmest day, looking at 31 degrees. That system will bring us snow, likely another 1 to 3 inches of snow across the area. So again, the system coming in tonight and into tomorrow with the on and off snow showers, a total of 1 to 2 widespread, locally higher amounts of 3. And then Wednesday, I think as well, it's going to be about 1 to 2 inches widespread with just a few pockets seeing closer to 3 inches of snow for that storm system. We'll also have some snow continuing on Thursday with some lake effect. Winds out of the northwest will bring in some lake effect snow showers, but for us, lake effect snow showers are more hit or miss. We just have to get that perfect fetch across Lake Michigan to bring the snow into our region. But temperature wise, you can see we'll start off Monday at 18. The afternoon will be down to 13, and then we drop to 6 Monday night or into Tuesday morning. The high on Tuesday, 15 degrees, but we don't fall too much Tuesday night. Wednesday we're up to 31, so that's gonna be our warmest day. Unfortunately, our temperatures are actually gonna drop throughout the day on Thursday. We're gonna hold close to 20 for quite a few hours, and then our temperatures drop, you can see, down to even 8 degrees by Friday morning. A high of 15 for those of you on Friday, and then -3 for the air temperature Saturday morning, and a high of 9 in the afternoon. We're likely going to have a lot of sunshine on Saturday. We're also likely going to have a lot of clear skies at night. So part of the reason that we're going to get so cold is because of the clear skies. We don't have any clouds to act like a blanket. That usually helps us stay warmer at night, but we also actually have Arctic air coming in, colder air coming in. That's why we're going to look at cold conditions. We do start to rebound a bit as we move into your Sunday. It's still going to be cold. I don't know if honestly -1 feels that much warmer than -3 degrees, but it is going to be cold as we continue into next weekend. So that's really honestly what we're looking at. I will leave this video up. Please have your questions coming in. Otherwise, we'll be back on tonight on TV 20 at 10 o'clock, and then Channel 7 at 11 o'clock tonight. Following Mrs. Doubtfire, we have to watch that movie on this Sunday. And then Mike will be in tomorrow morning. I'll be in at noon. And then I'll also be tracking some snow, especially if we do have any snow squalls tomorrow, whether it be in the morning or in the afternoon. We'll let you know the latest on those conditions, and then Dave will be in tomorrow night. So we're here for you. I know we've already had some rough weather this week. Hopefully we haven't lost all of your trust. Mother Nature just really likes to humble us meteorologists, but you know, we just have to move on. And unfortunately, we got to move on fast because we're back to more snow and some bitterly cold conditions. Again, to sum it all up, winter weather advisory goes into effect tonight at midnight, goes all the way through 10 o'clock on Tuesday. First concerns will be snow tonight and into tomorrow, widespread 1 to 2 inches with a few spots up to 3 inches. There is the potential for a few snow squalls tomorrow, which could lead to whiteout conditions, though short-lived, so be prepared for that. Reduced visibility as well as slippery driving conditions. Then tomorrow night into Tuesday, the focus switches more so away from the snow and to dangerously cold wind chills. By Tuesday morning, we are looking at wind chills about 5 to 15 degrees below zero. So we may see some school closures depending on the protocol from school to school. So please pay attention to that. All right, hopefully I helped you out. At least hopefully I prepared you for what you can expect for the next couple of days. We'll make it through it. And just know, of course, we're not too far. I wish I had the countdown. How many days till spring? How many days to the start of summer? We'll get there eventually. We just have to get through this week, which will definitely make us appreciate the warmth a lot more. All right, have a great Sunday night, everyone. Please stay warm.